blame, you net it.
I've been getting on my BNB and stacking these. Pairing it with EMP and then I'm LP. How to let myself up back before the bull run. How to take some shit, stick it in the ballroom. I've been getting on my BNB and stacking these. Pairing it with EMP and then I'm LP. How to let myself up back before the bull run. How to take some shit, stick it in the ballroom. E-pop got me waiting 3 more hours. Sticking all these years higher than a tower. Having all these nodes feel like superpowers. Investing all this bread, never been a coward. Call me Mr. Bond, money in the vault. I stay in the farm, feeling like the goal. Don't worry about the haters, not the detonator. I'll kill in every market, call me Terminator. I've been getting on my BNB and stacking these. Pairing it with EMP and then I'm LP. How to let myself up back before the bull run. Just stick it in the ballroom. I've been getting on my BNB and stacking these. Pairing it with EMP and then I'm LP. How to get myself up back before the bull run. How to take some just stick it in the ballroom.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to EMP.Money. My name is AJ, I am the team lead here, and this is our daily live AMA and recap of the crazy world that we live in as far as the crypto markets are concerned, but EMP is still a shining light. And all that, we are running a little bit late today. We had a ton of meetings working on some more marketing plans, and we had our talk at DigiCon today. So I saw a lot of familiar faces over at DigiCon. Shout out to all of you that showed up and supported us this weekend at DigiCon. I know for a fact we had at least one new user. Hopefully they're joining us on this AMA tonight. They were super excited to learn about EMP and were really intrigued with the NFT that, again, can get them exposure into our ecosystem very hands-off. So, again, the Sentinel Squadron NFT is still doing really well. We're still doing about $5,000 a day in secondary market volume. So, it's all good. So, today's going to be a little bit more relaxed. We had an amazing deep dive yesterday. Definitely listen to the AMA from yesterday. If you missed it, we did a lot of, overall market condition discussions, a lot of info on how it relates to EMP. So that was really a great one. And today, we're going to go over a few things, but really, I want to set aside some time for questions as well. So make sure you ask questions in the comments here on YouTube. And as always, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. All of our engagement has been blowing up over here, so we want to continue that. And without further ado, I'm joined by both of our team members now, LA and Bull Gates. How are you guys today?
It's been a real muted day for us. So
Yeah.
that's our little running joke here is we like to mute one another when somebody's speaking. But no, it's like you said, it's another busy day here. Always working in the background, right, to really build onto the ecosystem, knock those marketing plans like out of the park. And so for anybody that doesn't know too, like that term marketing sounds really little, but oh my gosh, there's like a million pieces that go into that. And, it's impossible for one person to do that. So it really does require good teamwork, and, good teamwork requires good communication. So, we're just like, that crypto project too, because we're always going to be a work in progress. We're always going to get better. We don't do anything perfectly because nobody is ever going to be perfect. But we need to strive to always be better tomorrow than we were today. And you got the blueprint for tomorrow from today.
Absolutely, Bull. Well said, brother. And yeah, I mean, it's easy. What did I say? It's easy to say, but not so easy to do. And so yeah, I mean, I think a lot of crypto projects say that they're doing marketing, but actually delivering on that marketing is definitely the hard part. So we have a lot of cool things in the works. Again,
You got to whoop it up there in LA. You got to pop on here because
yeah.
there's $1.5 million on the Sentinel Squadron, and I think there's some a little bit of hype on being the biggest BNB NFT launch ever, right? I mean, there's something there.
Yep, no doubt. LA killed it, setting up about 30 videos that we did the entire AMA run, both live and recorded videos. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. We have, even more coming. I know we're trying to give everybody a little bit of a break to recuperate some new, fresh capital to be able to go into more, amazing things in our protocol. But towards the end of the year, I think we're going to have a lot of awesome stuff, if not sooner. Again, I'm careful about mentioning actual dates until we have an actual timeline we can abide by. But we have a lot coming before the end of the year still. So, yeah.
Just to tease
Go
a
ahead,
little
Ellie.
bit
Yeah,
though,
Ellie, please. Yeah.
just to tease a little bit though, AJ and Bull, you got a little tiny preview of some of the artwork for the Detonator NFTs. What did you think?
Yes, so I wasn't even gonna drop the alpha. I love it, LA. So
Don't tell
yeah,
them what they
no,
are.
all right, all
Just
right. Yeah, they were amazing. Put it that way. Beyond my wildest expectations, and I don't say that lightly. So this next round is definitely something different. That I think a lot of the community
Let's call them. They're
is
fun. They're
yeah,
fun.
they're
It's
fun.
really
They're
fun.
a lot of fun. They really are.
It's
Yeah.
it's all on point, perfectly themed. That's it.
Yeah, totally. So yeah, I can't wait to share all that with all of you. And again, these are NFTs that have use case. So this will be not only another boost in our arm or shot in the arm as far as our treasury and being able to have the funds not only get back to peg but then to maintain peg, but also giving some life into Detonator as well. So yeah, we're excited for
Speaking of which,
yeah. Go
two
ahead,
minutes.
please. Yes, great segue. Thank you, LA. I meant to remind everybody, and even I forgot. So, yeah, make sure you're compounding in Detonator um, about 2 minutes. So, there you go. But, all right, so we had a really, again, a great day at DigiCon. Shout out to everybody that showed up over there. Uh, um, Steve Rader, or Steve 82, he was there. He did a really great chat about his new course in our EMP Academy. So we have a secondary course in EMP Academy that focuses on Splinterland. So I don't know if Steve is here. If he is, we'll bring him up. But that is really amazing. If you guys haven't watched it and certified yourself with that, please do so now because we will be giving away both Splinterland's cards and a Rooney, which is their own NFT project on Ethereum. So all that will be done at the end of the month. So you have another 2 weeks or so to learn the EMP, the Splinterlands Academy within our EMP Academy. So, and there's even a bonus video that explains how to do a lot of it hands off. So, utilizing different services that manage your cards for you. So, even if you're not a gamer, you can actually profit from the ecosystem. And again, we've been buying a lot of our own assets that are protocol owned in Splinterlands as well. I think the EMP account owns about $4,000 worth of assets now. So, and that's assets that all of you own, being part of EMP, that's being rented out on a daily basis. And then that DEC, which is the currency of Splinterlands, that will be used to buy back and burn EMP over the long run. So again, we're building in the bear market to not only eventually recover peg, but then to be able to maintain peg indefinitely. And I know that we keep saying that, but under the current market conditions, we're extremely healthy. And that was a big topic of discussion at DigiCon today, is that we're able to offer these amazing APRs in the depths of a bear market. Like, I think a lot of people are overlooking that at the moment. And so the big part of that is our eShare farm. That's paying amazingly well right now. So yeah, Bull in LA, you guys want to elaborate a little bit on the new eShare farm?
Why don't you field this one, LA, if you're of it?
Sure. Yeah. At DigiCon, I was just saying, like, this morning, I was just thinking about it. And I mean, I'm just so excited about this farm because the opportunity to earn on your eShare at this good of an APR is just something that excites me very much. But Stinky Beans actually posted something in the group yesterday that just blew me away. And he posted a chart that said our EMP ETH farm is the #1 highest APR in all BSC with an exposure to ETH. Now, our new eShare farm pays triple what the EMP ETH farm does in eShare. And so if you have exposure to both of those farms, I mean, you're just absolutely killing it. Now, I was thinking about it this morning, and it's just such an opportunity to force yourself to diamond hand while the price of eShare potentially rises because of the what do you call it, AJ? The shock, the what do you call it?
Supply shock.
Supply shock. Yeah, sorry, that term eluded me. Yeah, so I mean, there's no guarantees there, obviously, but while the market potentially improves over the next few months, or year, however long it takes, while the supply shock kicks in and the price of eShares potentially rise, like, you're forcing yourself to diamond hand over the next 21 days so that you can't get emotional and sell off while you're earning incredible APRs. So that's what really, really excites me about this farm. So not only is our EMP ETH farm paying industry-leading returns on ETH, but our eShare farm is then on top of that paying triple. So you can have industry-leading returns on a completely liquid farm while at the same time forcing yourself to be diamond-handed on an asset that could potentially 5x, 10x or more in the coming weeks, months, year. I mean, remember, eShare was $3,000 at its peak. So I'm really excited. I literally think about it multiple times per day. So
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, no doubt,
just
LA. Yeah, sorry to leave you hanging. I was having some technical difficulties. I meant to respond to you, but yeah, no, absolutely. And again, I mean, that is what we have built this platform on. Like, we're earning. Not only are we earning in a bear market, but we're earning with exposure to blue chip assets, and meaning Ethereum and BNB, and those again, in my mind, are the most bullish assets to be accumulating. And because of our closed loop economy, like, the upside potential on everything is massive. And again, eShare and EMP get their value not only from this closed loop economy and being utilized in our ecosystem, but also from the liquidity pairs. I mean, there is actual, ETH and BNB backing the value of EMP and eShare. Again, I mean, EMP eShare LP, I'm sorry, EMP ETH LP right now is over $6.5 million and of liquidity, and that's unheard of. I mean, that's like 20 other DeFi protocols combined. So, we keep going over this again and again because I think that people just aren't really grasping what we built here. And to be in the depths of a bear market and still be able to pay any APR with exposure to blue chip assets, it's the the unicorn of DeFi, or like we like to say, the Willy Wonka of DeFi. So yeah, yeah, it's exciting stuff. Bull, you want to add to that? Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, and I'll try to be brief, people. Truly, you know, LA touched on a really good point there about, you know, the highest earning potential on the BNB chain with exposure to ETH, and it's really easy to overlook, right? Because everybody looks at those APRs and said, "Oh, that's shit." You know, it used to be, you know, 5 times higher or whatever. But you know, given those market conditions, I mean, I think it's ridiculously awesome. But overall, if you just look at the parts of the ecosystem, and you know, that chart is such a great representation of like actually the power of this protocol. And in that, like, you can see it represented, like, in, you know, when you compare like other people, what, you know, what those offerings are. And you know, I look at all of those little pieces like that, you know, like how we have the Academy here really for the last 8 months, 9 months, and all of the innovative features that have been built here that, you know, people are like, damn, that's a good idea, like, we need to get that. And so, you know, we're seeing a lot of like kind of copy, you know, like attempts at copying right now. And you know, that's crypto, that's DeFi. People are always going to copy. Very few are going to execute, right? And so if we look at like other things, you know, like, you know, I think the smart protocols are people that have, you know, invested into this protocol, be it directly or as individuals or both. And then I think the super duper smart ones are the ones that did those two things, but then got themselves a DOS as well. And, you know, like growth, like super guys, like if we look at that, like how innovative is that? Like, can you tell me any other protocols that have like massive like involvement from other protocols investing into it? I think it would be far and few between. And I'll just mention this one last thing. You know, I've always said that, you know, I believe that ETH is the king of all crypto because of its utility. It's basically on every blockchain. Every blockchain is a copy of ETH, you know, if they run EVM, the Ethereum virtual machine. And it's because ETH has such high utility, meaning such high use case, right? It can do so many different things. And if we look at that as a measure of value, that it's been able to push past the boundaries of its own ecosystem to the point of where other ecosystems are built to clone it. That's a really powerful like testimonial for like the success of ETH and the promise of ETH, of what it's brought to crypto. And I will point out, like, how many DeFi projects, how many crypto projects can you say that you can go and use in other ecosystems? I'm going to guess it's really only a handful, because to get value outside of your ecosystem, that other blockchain or that other project has to believe that your token has such like usability and utility within your ecosystem, you know, on top of a few other things, so that they'll say, shit, yeah, I'll accept that, like in our ecosystem, because I can see that being a big boost. And, you know, I look at just from outside direct use cases, I look at, you know, the ability to stake, you know, and earn experts. I look in, you know, being able to, you know, deposit in the generator and the cultivator. That's pretty amazing that, you know, you have two other protocols, and, you know, like looking and saying, shit, like we need to get EMP like into our ecosystem, because, you know, we want to be investors in this ecosystem. And, you know, we believe in this ecosystem, even though we have our own, and it's an integral part, about the success of our own, you know, protocol. And, very few like projects can make the claim that your token can be used in another ecosystem. And it takes a lot to get to the point of where your token, our farm token EMP, has expressed and created so much value in this ecosystem. And, you know, looking at TVL and liquidity isn't a fair measure. You have to look at all the money that has been generated in the system and then taken outside of the system as a true reflection of, the true, like, quantitative value of EMP. But if you just look at a simple metric and being able to be used in 3 different parts of different ecosystems, I'd say that's a really, that's a goddamn, success story in itself. Disregarding like being, number one APR earner, the liquidity we have, but the ability for other people to literally want to use EMP in their ecosystem that's a dang success story.
Yeah, absolutely, Bull. And really, that's an awesome point because it plays into something I mentioned in the AMA yesterday, but I wanted to go into a little more today. Not only are protocols earning, like, in other words, and again, this is public info, but like MDB is a great example. Like, they have invested into the protocol to earn, as part of their treasury, yielding. And so, again, the fact that large projects are invested in EMP, utilizing our ecosystem to earn, is a great testament to not only the transparency and the safety. I mean, again, there's all risk in crypto. Everything could go to zero tomorrow. Is that likely going to happen? No. But we obviously can't predict the future. And I'm not talking about EMP, I'm talking about the crypto markets overall. But that being said, I think that it's a huge testament to what we have built and what we're going to continue to build. And even if the APRs, are not in the 1%, 2%, 3% range, these are sustainable APRs. And again, I make this comparison a lot, but I'd rather have $10 a day for the next 10 years than, $100 today and then nothing else. So, and if you don't understand that, then you probably shouldn't be investing to begin with. But again, I mean, it's a huge estimate. And the other thing that piggybacks on that, we've had, other protocols and developers and community members wanting to develop dApps for us as well. So this is another interesting mechanism. Obviously, if we endorse anything, we'll have to do our due diligence in the code, and we'll make sure, that this is a safe thing to be in to the best of our ability. But, other people building, utilizing EMP as a currency, or a dApp that will lock up or burn more EMP. I mean, that is all so bullish. And to have people do it, without any, compensation from us, and just for, building something of their own. And yeah, maybe there's, transaction fees or whatever else. I mean, we all have to make money, but my point is that, that shows a lot of confidence, because other developers are not going to be, building dApps if they don't think projects like EMP are going to be here for the long run. So we'll have a lot more announcements on that, hopefully, in the next week or two. There's 2 projects that come to mind, that would be maybe some partner dApps, and one of which is really promising. So that is, again, more use case coming for EMP and eShare, and all of our ecosystem. And on top of everything that we already have, like Bull said, Splinterlands, having them accept EMP as a form of payment. I mean, again, if a large company like that's a very respected company in play to earn and crypto overall, but they don't just partner and take, some random made up token with no liquidity. Like, the fact that they take EMP, they know, the health of our ecosystem, the deep liquidity backing our tokens, and, the fact that it could even be a revenue stream for Splinterlands. I mean, obviously, we trade SPS and EMP depending on, what the treasuries agree on, to keep that off of the market as sell pressure. But overall, the fact that we both are accumulating each other's assets, when the market does recover, those are major revenue generating things in their own right, based on price appreciation. So again, there's just so much going on that we could spend 10 hours a day talking about everything in EMP and not get into everything. So yeah, Bull or LA, anything else you want to add to that, and then we can take some questions.
I think we're good. Like, let's get to some questions.
All right, awesome. So yeah, if any of you have questions, please feel free to put it in the YouTube comments or Discord or Telegram. Let me go ahead and look through.
Oh, I can read you on
Oh,
here
all right, yeah,
from
yeah,
YouTube.
Yeah.
This is from Tyler Buffett. So hopefully it's not buffet, it's Buffett.
Yeah.
With not knowing when Pulse Chain will launch, is the EMP team looking at other blockchains such as Avalanche, Seifu, etc.?
Yeah, so great question. We targeted Pulse Chain not only because a lot of us are early investors and we would be, the first algorithmic project on Pulse Chain, but it's really about market share. And the whole idea of Pulse Chain, and having our sister project Impulse over on Pulse Chain was again to apply everything that we've learned running a successful seigniorage protocol from the get-go again. And again, we did a lot of things right, but there are some things that maybe we would do different. And so that's why we really were looking at that, and that still is the case. When Pulse does finally launch Pulse Chain, we will be having our sister project Impulse over there. But as far as other blockchains, I mean, we are launching partners with our Detonator as a service on other EVM compatible chains. Again, Avalanche, we announced earlier this month. That will be the next chain that we have a Detonator as a service on. We actually have 2 projects on Avalanche that are interested in that. So the development's being done right now for that. But to answer the overall question, I mean, we really it's really about market share, and BNB is pretty, ETH and BNB are the 2 big dogs right now when it comes to actual blockchain. So, their goal right now is to focus on that. If anything, maybe we have some sort of forward-facing project on ETH mainnet. But again, I mean, nothing has been set in stone on that. If we were to do something outside of Pulse, ETH would be the next option. Unfortunately, the volume has just died off completely on a lot of the layer 2s. So yeah, hopefully that answers your question.
Yep, I think that's perfect answer.
Cool. All right. What else do we have here? Chris Farrell, he's in the house. Shout out to Chris. Again, I don't know if he wants to jump on. I know it's late for him, but he's been.
Oh, he's already unmuted. He has to now. You have to now,
Yeah.
Chris.
Chris, are you there, brother? Oh, we're putting him on
God
the
save
spot.
the king.
So yeah, we've been talking. Again, Chris is a longtime supporter of EMP, and he actually was doing a talk. Oh, here he is. He might be on. Chris, are you there, bro? I know it's late, my friend.
Guys, this is very nice to hear you. Nice to hear you, Bull. Nice to hear you, AJ. I am here. It's midnight 13 here in London, and I was just about to go to bed. Just wanted to tune into the AMA, and I'm glad I did. How are you, gentlemen?
Good, brother. Always amazing
Excellent.
to hear your voice, bro. And I know it's late, so I don't want to put you on the spot, but maybe a little bird told me that you may have done a presentation to some people in London about EMP. So you maybe want to just go into that real fast, brother. I'd love to hear more.
Oh man, thank you. Yeah, actually, we've done 2 this week. So as you know, AJ, and I'm sure everybody on this call feels the same. I'm so bullish about what you guys are doing, and been in DeFi for a couple of years, been in crypto since 2017. And one thing I essentially do, long story short, is I kind of teach entrepreneurship, and I have done 2 talks this week for the first time ever on decentralized finance and EMP. It's only EMP I ever talk about because out of all those protocols, it's the only one I truly, truly do believe in. And AJ, the response was phenomenal. What was really interesting was that nobody, and this didn't surprise me, nobody had heard of EMP, and only a handful of people had heard of decentralized finance. But I could see the kind of the whites in people's eyes, just the kind of being conscious, being aware that there's this thing out there that is changing centralized finance that we all grew up with since we were kids, of banks and the middleman and all that sort of stuff, and how everything is changing. So it was wonderful for me to kind of share this with really engaged, wonderful people. And then also, as I just said, to see afterwards firsthand the reaction, the response. People wanted to know about EMP. They wanted to know about how they can get involved. And this was just 2 talks this week. One was for only about 50 people. One was for about 300. So, this is one, it just is kind of a nice little litmus test, if you like, that there's an awful lot of interest in this subject matter. So very, very nice of you to ask, AJ.
Yeah, Chris. No, I love it, man. That gets me really excited. And really, you hit the nail on the head, bro. Like, how early are we? Like, after doing talks like that, to know, that we are the cutting edge of DeFi, and that, that there are so many people that are still not in crypto, but are interested, and I mean, again, I think that is just so promising for what the future holds.
Well, you've always said this, and I completely echo what you say, and that is everything does come down to education. And I've got this thing as well. If you can hopefully make education, entertaining as well, because I think we've all been on webinars or presentations where you're listening, you think, oh man, this is so dull, this is so boring, I can't listen to this. And so we have a real opportunity here to kind of entertain while educating at the same time. And you put those two together in a subject matter that a lot of people are naturally interested in anyway. And as I say, just from kind of a smallish, if you like, test this week, two events in London, but the response was mind-blowing. And you've said this so many times. In fact, I even said this on stage. We are in the 1% of the 1%. And that's why when I talk about crypto to many people, we have to remember that even things, I mean, all of us here on YouTube and Telegram right now, we kind of get this. But if you talk about, I don't know, liquidity pools, even staking to most people. I remember Christmas last year, around the Christmas dinner table, talking to family about this, and they'd heard of crypto. But, you talk about staking or yield farming or liquidity. You might as well be speaking Norwegian, because most people have no idea what you're talking about. But that means there's a wonderful opportunity. Robert Kiyosaki talks a lot about this, looking for the opportunity to kind of to stand in front of, well, I was going to say a trend, but that implies that crypto is, just a trend. It's not a trend. It's, a whole seismic tectonic change in how we're all living. So I'm as you know, I'm so excited about this subject matter. I've only been in this since 2017, which, in crypto is forever, but I'm learning every single day and asking questions, and I'm jumping into the Telegram group, the stuff that I'm not clear on, and Bull and you and everyone, LA and Stinky Beans, everybody's super helpful. And that's another thing I'll just wrap up by saying, what I love about this industry is that everybody's happy to share. I always remember the boss of Google saying there's no such thing as competition. It's all about collaboration. And I feel that that's the case here. If we learn something that benefits us, everybody's happy to share. And you look at a conventional business. If you're in a conventional business, most of the time, if you're doing something that works and you're making money from it, you kind of want to keep it to yourself. You don't want to share it with anybody else. But here it's the opposite. Everybody's in it together. And that creates this wonderful, loving, supportive community, which I think is just a great place to be.
Yeah, absolutely, Chris. No, bro. I mean, I know we talk about it often, how you and I are cut from the same cloth, and we share a lot of the same mindsets. And yeah, man, I could not agree more. And I know you're working on a lot of awesome stuff behind the scenes. I know, we are as well. And really, again, it's about pushing EMP and DeFi forward together. And I know we use the analogy a lot that, a rising tide rises all ships. And it could not be farther from the truth. Even now, like, but the market is bloody. And I know, not to go on another tangent here, but Chris and I have said that as well. Like, we want to bring people into EMP and into DeFi, but with the dumpster fire that we've seen, it is hard for people looking in from the outside at the current landscape but now is the time that we want people in because, again, I would beg to differ that we're a lot closer to a bottom than a top. And so if you get in now, while the market's depressed, while there's fear, while there's blood in the streets, that is where true wealth has been made. And again, I mean, I can attest to that personally as well. So yeah, Chris, I appreciate everything that you do, brother. And anything you want to leave us with? Again, I know it's late, but I appreciate you
Oh,
jumping
it's all
on.
well. I appreciate you and Kirk. I know he's here as well. Who's been wonderfully helpful, and I'm excited for you, AJ, and your new little arrival that's coming very
Yes,
soon.
brother.
So
I know it's
look
been
forward to
in,
spending that time.
thank you, man. It's been insane. We're expecting our first daughter in a matter of a few weeks. So yeah, it could be any minute. Who knows? Maybe during one of our AMAs, I'll have to jump off early and head to the delivery room. So yeah, no doubt,
I
man.
won't ask you if you're more excited about your daughter or about Peg because that'd be an unfair
Yes,
question.
that would
So,
be. Yeah, no doubt. Off the record, right? No, yeah. So, all right, awesome, Chris. Well, thanks again, brother. Always
nice
good to hear
speaking to you.
from you. All right, you got it.
Thanks, AJ. Thanks, guys. Good night from London.
All right, good night, brother. All right, awesome. Yeah, so Chris, again, one of our longtime community members and has done a lot for our ecosystem, bringing in a lot of new people. I know even some of our most dedicated followers, David is one that comes to mind, came here through Chris. So, yeah, go ahead, Bull. Do you want to add anything to that, bro? Yeah.
Yeah, just because the modern banking system was brought up, I have an analogy for it, and just to show like how the bank functions and how like absolutely like um it screws all of us, right? If you send money from bank to bank across the country, across the world, it always seems to take a few days. Why? Well, the why is they can collect interest on that in the meantime in those few days. But just think about if a telephone worked the way that banking worked. You called somebody, you said hello, and then 3 days later they picked up and they're like hello, and then 3 days later you would get a call back of that person responding to you. How absolutely broken would communication be? But why is financial communication like that? And that's what a bank is. It's a financial communicator. So why doesn't it work like a telephone? Why isn't it instantaneous for the customer to customer? It's truly bizarre. It just doesn't make any sense to me. And really, that little example really illuminates in my mind just how absolutely broken the current financial system is.
Yeah, no, absolutely, Bull. And again, I think that is one of the incredible, proof in the pudding, so to speak, of crypto. Like the power of this technology. And again, like the meme or the joke is like, I'm in it for the technology when really everybody's in it for the gains. But seriously, I mean, I think there is an element of being in it for the tech. I mean, it is going to revolutionize the way the banking or the financial system works on a global scale. I mean, I've sent $500,000, in a matter of 30 seconds, and a fee of $1. I mean, that is just such a better model to move money around the world than our current system. And that technology isn't going to just disappear. There's people that are going to suppress it. I can tell you the big banks are not happy, but when there is a better wheel, so to speak, that's been invented, that is gonna, stick. And it's gonna take regulation. I mean, we talk about it a lot. We're we're not opposed to regulation. I think that we need regulation in some form, to be able to open the floodgates into crypto, and all that is coming. It could be a month, a year, another 2 years, or 3 years, but eventually it'll happen. And again, all of us will be in position um, before the next wave happens. And I was reading an article today as well that put things into perspective. Obviously, right now with FTX and the market just being a complete disaster, with a lot of people losing money left and right. you think to yourself, like, how do we get into this position? Well, Mt. Gox is an amazing example. So early on, when Bitcoin first started, 90% of all trading volume was done through Mt. Gox, and Mt. Gox was a centralized exchange that a lot of early Bitcoin people were using, and it was hacked, and all that money just disappeared in one day. And so, if the crypto market can recover from a 90% attack on everything that happened during then, and to see where we are now, I think Bitcoin was like $20 at the time of the hack, maybe 100 somewhere in there, and to see where it is now, I mean, that should just be proof that as bad as it looks at the moment, like it's nothing compared to what Bitcoin has already survived. And I say Bitcoin, meaning the overall crypto market. So yeah, again, it's just food for thought on all that as well. But Bull, I know you were around. I know we all wish we were a little more involved in the early days, but do you remember all that, Bull? I know you were around early on, so yeah.
Yeah, I came into the tail end of hearing about it, and truth be told, I was one of the dum-dums that kept money on a centralized exchange to see them disappear. And I was talking about that a few days ago on the AMA. And it, like, I'm not embarrassed to tell people the dumb shit that I've done, because I've done plenty of dumb things. And a big reason that like I like being on the AMA is to tell those stories, so that you're not having to tell somebody that you were a dum-dum and kept something on a centralized exchange, or you fell for a scam. I mean, I literally fell for a scam called House of Cards. And it was a token promising like we would all have part ownership of the first Bitcoin ASIC that came out. And the token literally was called House of Cards. And I mean, the name should have said it all, but there's no reason I would want to say, like, not tell people, like, to be cautious, to be aware of scams. And I'm more than willing to poke fun at myself or tell you like the failures I've had, because I don't want to see you make them, or anybody. And a lot of people lost money in Mt. Gox, but and you don't have to lose money to learn a lesson. And I know that's a popular like kind of meme or expression or cliche, but you truly don't. You can learn lessons, obviously, without having to suffer loss. And I look at, but ultimately the space, there's just the opportunity is probably 1,000 times greater today than 10 years ago, and 500 times greater than 5 years ago, just because of all the niche products we have. We have DeFi, you have gaming, like literally whatever you want to find, it's here. And if it's not, you can build it. And if you can't build it, you can find somebody to help you build it.
Yeah, I love it, Bull. And yeah, man, what did I say? It's the real geniuses learn from other people's mistakes. So yeah, absolutely, Bull. So all right, Joe, what's up, brother? How are you?
Oh, geez, I didn't even know I turned my mic on.
Oh,
Bull must have done that.
he did, man. He did.
No, but
Yeah, go ahead, bro. How are you, man? Yeah.
Joe, I only mute people. I never turn their mic
Oh,
on.
oh, Bull muted you, Joe. Oh, he's up to his
That's just done out of
shenanigans.
love, though.
oh,
Yeah,
that's good.
yeah.
I'm Little Joe next to Big Bull. That's why.
No,
But,
no. We're all equal partners here. It's we're all making our contributions. I never look at like little Joe. So
Yeah.
Joe PB Trader.
just wanted to add in what Bull said is so true. I mean, look at our current system. I'm trying to think who said it, but someone in one of the interviews I saw said that our system's so archaic that if you wanted to send someone money, it's faster to take that money on a plane, fly over, and deliver it to them in person than it is to go through the bank rails, which is just crazy since we have internet and everything's digital. And then in addition to that, I'm sure some of you saw that just a few days ago, the Fed approved some of the big banks, what is it? Citibank, Wells Fargo, BNY Mellon, US Bank, PNC, TD, HSBC, MasterCard. I mean, those are some big names. They just got approval to test out a stable coin and do some hypothetical, transfers between each other and gather some data. So, I mean, that is clear sign that yeah, it's coming, and the banks don't want to be left out. I think they will lose some share in what they can do, but they definitely know that crypto's here to stay. And once regulation gets in place, I mean, you're going to see, I think $1 trillion come in overnight once the green light is there. So the problem is if you wait until every regulation's here, then you miss the opportunity. So you have to, you got to just have that fortitude to just power through all this, have that amazing opportunity EMP to build your Ethereum, the second biggest token. There's so much on Ethereum being built, it's going nowhere. And will there be other projects that will do really well? Absolutely. I mean, will it be Polygon? Will it be Cardano? Who knows? But, I invest a little bit in all those blue chips because you got to have multiple horses in the race, because the one that, that doesn't make it, sure, you lose your money there. But the one that does make it will more than make up for the loss on the other ones. But I am totally bullish on Ethereum. They're not going anywhere. And Ethereum can't handle all the volume that will be on, crypto once everything is up and going. So to think that one project's going to replace Ethereum is just not possible. There's going to be multiple companies, just like there are multiple cell phone companies, multiple cell phone makers. I know my son, all his friends, they go, why do you have Android? But they don't realize Android is the dominant operating system around the world. It might not be with US kids, but around the world, Android is still huge. So yeah, there's plenty of room for multiple projects, and they'll all serve a different purpose. So I can't be more excited for this opportunity. And like AJ said, I mean, this is a once in a lifetime opportunity. I don't think we'll ever get it again. So people like Bull and AJ that got in early, I know they all wish they got in earlier, but everyone does. But they got in earlier than most of us. And look where they are today. And I'm just excited that we still have this one last chance to get in and really make some life-changing money. I'm so excited.
Yeah, I love it, Joe. Every time you jump on, man, you get me hyped up. You're my, like, I just gotta bring you with me. You can be my personal hype man, because yeah, everything you say resonates so well, and it's 100% true. I mean, we all wish we were here earlier, but we say, the best time to invest was yesterday, but the second best time, is right now. And again, I think a lot of you have taken that to heart. Maybe you do have to get a side hustle, or sell some of your, collectibles, or, pick up a part-time job. Like, that is the sacrifice that you may have to make to be able to have the funds to invest into crypto. But, all of that will pay off in the long run. And none of this is financial advice. Again, never invest more than you can afford to lose. Obviously, you shouldn't be investing, money that you rely on to survive into crypto. But as far as I'm concerned, I know, a lot of people are trying to diversify back into real estate and stocks and, all the traditional markets. But really, I mean, if you don't see the upside of what crypto can be, like Joe said, like, even if you have losses, like, the one win will more than make up for any of those losses over the long term. And we're still so early. And, I know sometimes it sounds like an echo chamber, but I can tell you, like, I've been through 3 bear markets now, and this one's definitely a doozy. It's definitely, a little bit different with, larger players like FTX just completely, shitting the bed. But I've never once thought to myself, is this it? Or could this be the one? Like, is crypto dead? Like, those thoughts just never even, like, enter my mind at all. And I'm the furthest from that. And that is what proves to me, and I think a lot of you out there, like, if you have I call it the intestinal fortitude, or the mindset of being here for the right reasons. Um, and then that those kind of thoughts, are not even thoughts that you have. I think the people that are over invested or in crypto for the wrong reasons, to get rich quick, like they're the ones that are worried, that are up all night, worrying about whether their coin is going to go to zero, or what the APR is or isn't, like, and that's a sign. I think if you are one of those people, you're probably over invested, and over leveraged. So try to redistribute, to be in a much healthier position. So, but again, I mean, we're so excited for what we have coming and everything we built. Jesse, another long-term community member. Go ahead, bro. I'm sure you're gonna spit some fire
AJ,
about this, so
yo,
let's
yo,
hear it,
listen,
man. Yeah,
listen. I mean, whether people realize it or not, the AMAs is filled with a lot more not financial advice. Financial advice. I mean, some of the things that is being said. I always love when Joe got something to say. It's always fire.
for sure,
But
bro.
listen. What's being said is always better than some professional financial advisors I know. But I just wanted to jump in, show the love. I guess a little DeFi time. I'm gonna give some financial advice. Let me see. Okay, e-shares. If anybody looked at the e-share in the farm, you notice where a zap button would be is a compound button. Now it will bring you back to the 21 days. Right now, if you're not hitting that compound button, you're collecting APR, which they're great APRs. I think everybody covered in this landscape to get this kind of APR is amazing. But if you hit that compound button, you're turning that to APY. So, why not get some of that compound interest off the other end of it while you're waiting on supply shock to happen? So, it's no reason to treat that than any different strategy that you would do with an ROI contract. A little more flexible. If you want to do a 4-3 strat, you know what I'm saying? You could do a 5-2 strat, whatever it is. When you have an opportunity to get these rates during such a downturn, I mean, we see what the landscape looks like. You want to turn these gains that you can get into compound interest. It brings so much. It's a big difference between APR and APY. So if I can give some financial advice for anybody that don't mind going back in for a solid 21 days, then hit that compound button, make that APY. And that's financial advice for the night.
I love it, Jesse. Yes,
Oh,
and that,
listen,
yeah, yeah. Go
and
ahead,
listen, and
bro.
with that being said, support all of our socials. Go clap, hit likes, do whatever you got to do everything you got to do, and we want to try to bring in as many people as we can. So the little bit of small effort that you can do for the people that are taking the big efforts really, really makes a big difference.
Hell yeah, Jesse, no
Go
doubt,
ahead,
bro.
AJ.
And that is DeFi dinner time with Jesse, right? Hell yeah, bro. So no,
Yeah, I
absolutely.
love
Yeah,
you. I shout out
yeah,
to everybody, man.
yeah,
I already love everybody here,
yeah.
everybody in the community.
No doubt. Love you too, bro. Again, I know you're hardworking, getting that fiat to go back into crypto, bro. Yeah, Jesse's a prime example.
Yeah.
Yeah,
When you said, listen,
yeah.
look, and when you said that, exactly. Listen, with all of my investments, I could have not worked a long time ago, but I see what that compounds into. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna keep adding it while I can.
Yeah, bro. No, I love it, man. And you brought up compound interest. That is the eighth wonder of the world. I mean, we see it all. The people that don't have it want it, and the people that have it want more of it. I mean, again, compound interest
And look, and
is huge.
shout out, listen, and shout out to the and listen, and shout out to the team because just like everything else you've done in the protocol ever since I've been here, you made it easy. You replaced the zap button with a compound button. It's right there, front and center. So if you realize the difference in how big of an impact the compound interest has while you're earning these rates, you're gonna hit that button. You know what I'm saying? Like it's better to hit it more than you take for the growth that you really want.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And again, I mean, the people that get that, are the ones that are building the major positions that now, and are gonna really, have gains beyond their wildest dreams when the market recovers. I mean, anybody taking profit at the moment, that's probably not, the best idea. Again, I can't give financial advice, but Jesse can. So yeah, but yeah, I mean, again, that's a right,
No,
Jesse. Yeah,
listen,
go.
you're absolutely right. You know what I'm saying? And it's hard. Like, we watch peg go up, we watch peg go down. The reality is, what I'm saying, whatever the treasury and the protocol does for us, that as far as buyback and burns or whatever's planned, I mean, I always have faith in them. They, what I'm saying, the team wouldn't be saying what they're gonna do if they're not gonna do it. I know that. You know what I mean? But the reality is we need more ETH in our system to pair with the EMP that we have here. So we need to make it so there's more demand for EMP, and that comes in form of ETH. You know what I'm saying? Because the more ETH we have here, the more we need to pair that with EMP, and then it's gonna come a day that the type of Ethereum that we're gonna grow to have in our system. It's going to be a day where people say we can't get enough EMP. Like, we need the boardroom to turn on because
Totally.
there's too much Ethereum here and we need the EMP to support it. Everybody that dumps it and brings us down in peg, they'll live to regret that. You know what I'm saying? But it's only a matter of time until, it's just like a supply shock for eShare. We're gonna need the EMP. So through us getting rid of extra, anything the treasury could do to get rid of extra, our goal is to bring it. If you really want to be a really good player in our ecosystem needs as much Ethereum as it can get. So in any type of way that you can dump from another project and buy Ethereum, or use our eShare as you grow to purchase Ethereum through our own protocol, but however you can get your hands on Ethereum, if you want EMP to have explosions and everything you're looking for, we need to make the system need the EMP. And that's through ETH. We need to bring as much ETH as we can here. So anybody that's got them big pockets and them big wallets that can convert some shit that they don't mind getting rid of and bring an ETH here, that's a big support, because that ETH will require sucking up EMP so we can make the best returns. And it's the best deal right now anywhere in DeFi. You know what I'm saying? You're able to grow ETH in that farm, the EMP ETH farm, at rates you're not going to find anywhere. So it makes sense that if you want everything to work better and you want the boardroom to turn back on, well, you know what I'm saying? I want everyone to take a look into their wallet. If there's something that you can get rid of and grab some ETH and bring it over here, well, then, instead of people that are selling node emissions, they'll be able to take those node emissions, pair it up with that ETH, and we instantly get people to start to stop from dumping, because, especially anybody that's dumping large. The goal is the more Ethereum that we can obtain and bring it to the ecosystem. And don't think that if you can only bring a little bit, that it doesn't make a difference. If collectively all of us just start, now, I mean, to me, I'm happy with buying ETH at these numbers. So, you can expect my wallet. I'm going to purchase some ETH and bring ETH in here, because our ecosystem needs that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying that we can manipulate it, but, we say row in the same direction. And the answer always is, to not sell EMP. Okay, we can not sell EMP all we want. If there's not enough Ethereum in our system, there will be too much loose EMP. And the last thing that we want is the boardroom to turn off when there's way too much, way too much loose EMP. If you know it's going to be dumped later, it doesn't help us. If we know, you don't want someone to say, if someone's obtaining massive EMP, I would love to talk to them, because the goal is, what are we going to do with all that EMP? We need to pair it with ETH, because if not, what is there to do with it? You can just hold it forever and be a good person, or you can end up dumping on the community's head. You know what I'm saying? So our ecosystem requires us to be good actors. We want to get as much EMP as we can, but we need the ETH to pair with that. So the more we can suck up how much Ethereum we have in our system, that's how much more EMP is going to be put to work. And we'll be able to, it'll be nothing to have 50-day peg runs.
Yeah, 100%.
So I hope that resonates with everyone.
Yeah, no, Jesse, for sure. And that's the beauty of seigniorage protocols, and the reason that the boardroom is governed, by the peg, is that we will print more EMP when the ecosystem is ready to have that happen. And to your point, there will be a time where, there isn't enough EMP around to pair up with the Ethereum and everything else, to go into the farms, they go into
Listen, I
Detonator.
know you used to
Yeah,
talk about it.
totally,
And listen,
totally.
yeah, I know you used to talk about it. You used to say all the time, there's going to come a time where people can't get enough EMP. I agree.
Yep, totally. Well, and again, that plays into the final form as well, where all along we've said that, it becomes much more profitable to hold or to stake or to utilize your EMP paired up with ETH, everything that you just said, Jesse, than to actually sell your EMP. And once people understand that, like, that's when the ecosystem absolutely explodes. So yeah, amen,
and
bro.
then and then
Yeah.
and then and then and then listen and then we turn around you turn around and as a team you make it better. You find, what I'm saying, you're a good dude and that resonates with people trust you to bring your token to their ecosystem, like Splinterlands, and to have a relationship with them. It's great because it makes it so if you are somebody that ends up having excess that you can't get the Ethereum for, there's something to do with it that's still. And to be honest with you, you don't know what kind of crazy value that can be. I mean, listen, when I'm opening packs, I feel like I'm playing a lottery. I might pull something worth a couple hundred. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So,
totally, bro.
you know,
Yeah, and like you said,
so
it
you don't
gives
have to
everybody options.
be
Yeah.
right. Because so in other words, you don't have to be somebody that sells that EMP. If you take the EMP by packs, you could roll a couple $100 card and you could sell it. It's an NFT. Someone will buy that.
Yep, no doubt, bro. And that is, I mean, again, it would be one thing if we just said don't sell EMP, but we didn't give people the other half of that, the option, the solution, on how to accomplish not selling EMP but still gaining. And yeah, I mean, like you said, Jesse, the Splinterlands partnership is a perfect example. I mean, not only are you building
And listen,
a massive
and
bag,
and
yeah,
and from
yeah.
listen and from personal experience, I'm collecting DEC every day.
Yep, totally, bro. Exactly. And again,
Like,
it's a budding ecosystem too, where now you're accumulating assets when they're on the floor. I mean, again, I know I have over $1 million in Splinterlands, and I can tell you, I spent about, maybe 10% of that, if that. So again, it just goes to show that accumulating is the key, and that was done over two bear markets for as long as Splinterlands has been around. So, yeah, really, again, amazing advice, financial or not for Jesse, but, we love you, bro. So, was that it? Anything else, bro? Yeah,
listen. You
go
don't
ahead.
have look,
Yeah.
no. Listen. If people want to, listen to what I'm saying, I'm saying, it's financial advice. You know what I'm saying? It's the way I look at the system. So, I mean, you're welcome to disagree with ways that I think that it's important for us to see it and the way we should look at it. But I think that what I'm saying, collectively, when we put the top players together. I mean, a lot of the most important people, what I'm saying, that are responsible to do this, what I'm saying, are the ones that ate. What I'm saying, I've eaten in this ecosystem. What I'm saying, EMP is by far the best place to be. So, what I'm
Totally.
saying, like if it comes a situation to where it's like, all right, well, I have enough EMP. I've been here for so long, I have enough EMP. Am I not going to buy none? Nah, fuck it, I'm gonna buy some. You know what I'm saying, why not buy some? I just need to get the ETH to pair it with. You know what I'm saying? But we can't. You can't be in the ecosystem for a long time and then just because you succeeded so well in it, just completely stop putting buy pressure on EMP. We're the reason why we peg run for 50 days. You know what I'm saying? It all starts with us. But I'm not telling you to buy the EMP and just be dead with it. Get some ETH. Bring it to the farm. We would love to bring it to the detonator. Log it up.
Absolutely, bro. No doubt. Awesome, Jesse. Well, always a
Oh,
pleasure
and listen,
having
and
you,
if I
bro.
didn't mention,
Yeah, yeah,
and
go
if
ahead,
I
bro. Yeah.
listen, if I didn't mention, EMP's on sale. So financial advice.
I love it, man. Yes, we're having a fire sale over here on EMP. Get it while it's hot, bro. Amen. So, all right, awesome. Well, there you go, everybody. Jesse, again, spitting fire. That's why these AMAs are so awesome. The longer you hang out, you never know what kind of gems you're gonna hear. So, all right, I do see two other questions. Kirk had a question about our audit. So yeah, we did announce about man, it's probably almost been a month now, that we are in the process of being audited by Paladin. So it's going well again with the bear market. And people having cutbacks on their team, and we're I think we're in the third round right now. There's what they call a peer review, and a lot of this is also uh, you know slowed up because of our NDA, non-disclosure agreement on the code itself. So obviously we don't want to have people have access to that code. So a lot of their high-level auditors are working on this, which is even more bullish because once we do get the green light, it'll be a killer feather in our cap. So hopefully the next week we'll have another update. Again, there's multiple rounds of auditing. Right now we're under what they call the peer review. Then we'll have an opportunity to address any potential issues that they see, or if there are no issues, then they do their final report. So it is a bit of back and forth, but the Paladin audit is well underway and hopefully closer to being finished than being started. Like again, they've been working on it. So all right, hopefully that
maybe
helps.
maybe
Yeah,
segue
yeah,
that
Bill. Yeah.
segue that into the chain link as well, because I know you mentioned it last night, but it's
Yep.
good to tie those up in the same package.
Totally, and yeah, so not only that audit will confirm, that we are using the Chainlink Oracle. We're in discussions with Chainlink's marketing on getting an official announcement from their side. But again, I mean, we would never make any claims that we can back up. So unfortunately, it's out of our control, and something that we have to rely on Chainlink to verify, and we're working on that. So, but we have been and are using the VRF services from Chainlink, and I know Bull's been and part of those conversations now, so we're working on it. I mean, everything we say we do, and everything we do we say. It's just getting it out there is the hard part. Yeah.
Yeah. You have to rely on other people that are relying on other people to get that calendar lined up, and I think that's the big thing there is they as they kind of put it, they were really impressed with like Jake's thoroughness and the security, and really protecting the code, because as coders themselves they could really respect that. And I know that it took longer than they had anticipated to really kind of do their initial I forgot the term that they used, but basically so that their team would look it over before they would even work with EMP. And once their team looked it over and they kind of dotted their I's and crossed their T's, there was a lot of like mutual respect in that relationship, and I think that goes a long way in showing the caliber of programmer, coder, whatever term you want to use that Jake is, that the most well respected price oracle team project in crypto was singing his praises like pretty high. And I'm I'm proud to be part of that discussion, to see just like just a very, very high level of respect shown back and forth in there.
Yeah, no, totally. It was an awesome conversation. That I know what you're referring to, Bull. And so, yeah, I mean, and really, in crypto, a lot of things rely on other things, meaning it's a multi-step process, meaning we have to, get the Chainlink Oracle implemented in the code. Then we have to have, Paladin audit not only that code, but then confirm that the code is being utilized the way it's intended. And then once that happens, then again, all the, like Bull said, all the I's are dotted and the T's are crossed, and then all parties involved are comfortable, releasing that partnership in writing or marketing and everything else. Like the marketing team comes last. There's about
Yep.
a month of work before that even gets to that point. that nobody understands, but has to happen in the chain of events. So yeah, does that make sense, Bull? I don't
Oh,
know if I explained it.
oh yeah, yeah, absolutely. And I'm just going to drop a little Easter egg because I think where we have really wanted that, that marketing to show and to prove like that the detonator's been backed by Chainlink for the last three months maybe now. That would be really nice. But in terms of also like the Paladin audit, I can, like I can say that, like I've really, me personally wanted to see that done because I want to make sure that people are assured that there's no possible FUD that people can say, well, hey, what about this? What about that? And, using the two of the most respected auditing and functional type of teams like in the space, I mean, that's pretty legit. But I know I'm not the most excited one for this Paladin audit to be done. I'm quite certain it is the person, the entity, and a huge potential partner for DOS that set that Paladin audit in motion
Yes,
and really
brother.
made the
I
introduction.
love
So
it, Bull. There you
uh,
go, man. Anybody paying attention, listen up. Bull's he's dropping the alpha, and you guys probably aren't even hearing it. But yeah,
yeah, and
yeah. Go ahead,
like if
Bull.
you guys knew, you would go totally bananas. Like it's crazy, like I don't know. I'll just say like you'd go bananas if you knew who it was.
Yeah, no doubt, Bull. I love it. Again, those that pay attention get rewarded the most. So yeah, 100%. And again, I mean, there have been many partnerships that are both in the works and farther along than we can even lead on to let everybody know. But there are, again, back to my original point of the chain of command. There has to be certain things that get signed off on, that lead to other events that really allow us to integrate, even further into amazing, protocols in all of DeFi. I mean, working with projects that we never thought we'd be working with, until year 2 or 3. We're working with them in 10 months in. So it's super bullish. That we get that respect and that people see the value in that. Like Bill said, this potential partner, I mean, they said as long as, the audits come back and the, trade link is good, like, we see the value in what you guys have built. So that not only is that, again, a feather in our cap, but also could be an amazing way to scale and to grow our ecosystem. So yeah, awesome stuff. All right, I think that's all I see for questions. Bull or LA, any I missed or anybody else want to ask before we wrap it up?
I think we're good to go. Time to make dinner.
Yeah, no doubt. Again, another long day. We've had meetings. DigiCon went really well, but we're always building here at EMP, and we would have it any other way. So, all right, everybody. Well, again, if we did not get to your question, please feel free to leave one on the YouTube video. We will get to it tomorrow. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Again, we're pushing all of our engagement over on YouTube, and we have even more awesome stuff coming later this week. So hopefully everybody is enjoying their weekend, and we will see you all tomorrow. So all right, good night, good day. We'll see you tomorrow.